to learn about closing and some of the ways that we're supposed to. Hello, live viewers and replay viewers. We're going to do, just before we get going, we're doing chapter 8. Has anybody finished chapter 8, like on their own, before we started to do the training?
Mm-mm.
No? Nobody got to chapter 8 yet? Julie, where are you at?
I
You here?
listened to the whole thing.
Okay, so you've heard chapter 8, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to try my best to do just like this overview of it, and then we're going to listen to how he reads it. Hopefully it won't take too long. Yeah. Basically, this chapter is about posture, asking the right questions. The last training we talked about how to continue to keep the exposures going, and then, right now this is like sealing the deal. So the first part is going to be about what Eric Worre did wrong in his early years of network marketing and how he learned the keys to the steps to the 5 things that will give you confidence and posture.
You have a story. What happened? Were you involved in network marketing at some point?
Hope you guys
Then
can
just
hear
let
that.
them and understanding. I don't want to bother my friends and slightly bling the professionals. I watch what the best closers do. They ask question after question after question and are great listeners.
Hold on one
They
second.
act like, but I'm going to take this thing to the top and we can do it together. This gives people great comfort in knowing that they don't have to learn everything on their own. Fourth, they're always prepared. Always. They have everything they need to get.
Okay, so I skipped 2. Hold on.
For people asking this with emotion attached, I usually respond with, yes, this is network marketing. Do you know anything about it? Because you knew things weren't going to change if you didn't do something to change them.
Okay, here we go.
The
Chapter
other way
8.
to answer it is to tell your story and then tell stories of people you know who are making good money.
So glad you're joining
You can
us.
even suggest setting up a phone conversation with those people so they can feel more comfortable about the
Yeah.
opportunity. All of this takes practice. But if you get the concepts down, you'll find it becomes easy. And the other thing that should encourage you is you'll only have this handful of the same objections for the rest of your career. There's nothing new here. What I've listed in this section is about all there is. Remember, our goal is education and understanding. This is a part of the process that makes that goal a reality.
Okay, so 5 things that will give you confidence and posture. That's getting them to sign up. Hurry up. Chapter 8. All right.
Chapter 8, skill number 5, helping your prospects become customers or distributors. This skill is a natural byproduct of following up professionally. If you walk through exposure after exposure, our goal of education and understanding will be accomplished. But that doesn't mean the prospect will come out and ask you for an order form or an application. It's your job to get them to a decision. The key to success in this area is a combination of having good posture and asking good questions. Good posture means the way you carry yourself. Your words and actions will help your prospect feel more confident about joining your opportunity, or they'll plant seeds of doubt. In my early years, my posture was terrible. I was trying to get people instead of pursuing the nobler goal of education and understanding. And the prospects could feel my intentions. I was very emotionally attached to the outcome. You could even say I was needy. Every time I got to this part of the process, I really, really wanted it. Again, the prospect could feel my emotional attachment, and that usually scared them away. Through lack of results and without even realizing it, I started to assume people were not going to be interested. And that assumption started to seep into everything, which led to the predictable result of the prospect not joining. Most of the time, I wasn't properly prepared. I didn't have applications, startup materials, or whatever else was necessary. Think about the subconscious impact this had on my prospects. It seemed just about everything I did projected a lack of belief and a lack of professionalism. Instead of asking questions and listening intently to the answers, I just talked and talked and talked. I was more focused on being interesting than being interested. Prospects don't like that. No one does. So again, I followed the pattern of modeling the professionals. I watched what the best closers did and began to copy them. I interviewed the top performers to figure out what they did differently, and slowly I started to see the flaws in my own approach. First, I learned that professionals are emotionally detached from the outcome. In other words, their goal is education and understanding while helping a prospect make a decision that would positively impact their lives. They're the opposite of needy. They aren't trying to get anybody. They're honestly just trying to help. Second, they're very assumptive in their approach. They expect the person to join because their belief that the opportunity would benefit the prospect is so strong. They're rock solid. Many of them are sincerely shocked when a person decides not to get involved. Third, it was interesting to learn they promoted themselves as much as they promoted the product or the opportunity. What I mean by that is they helped the prospect make the decision by saying, "You get me." When they promoted themselves, it isn't like, "I'm going to do everything for you." It was more like, "We have a great product and a great opportunity, but I'm going to take this thing to the top and we can do it together." This gives people great comfort in knowing that they don't have to learn everything on their own. Fourth, they are always prepared. Always. They have everything they need to get a person started right on the spot. And fifth, they ask question after question after question and are great listeners. They act like a consultant helping a person with a problem. The best consultants in the world have to ask a bunch of questions before they can offer a solution. Network marketing professionals use questions as their most powerful tool.
Okay, so just to stop really quick and kind of go over basically what he's saying. For you guys who are either new or still trying to, seal the deal with potentials, and it just seems like you haven't got the swing of it and you're trying to figure it out, or maybe you're trying to teach your distributors and your downline how to do it, because I know for me, I figured it out, but it's also my, I guess, job or duty or whatever to teach my distributors this as well. So yeah, I kind of know what I'm doing, but then it's different when you have to show someone. So this is a really good concept to teach. It's your job to guide the potential to a decision. So Nikita found this really good notes, I guess you would say it. Nikita, can you copy what you just sent me and send it in the, put it on the Diamonds Are, no, what is it called? Boss Dynasty page, and tag me in it, and then this will be our little review for this particular training. But the 5 things that will give you confidence and posture, that's one of the things that he talked about. And the keys to the key to this step are confidence and posture and asking the right questions. He said the last thing, asking a ton of questions. You're supposed to be asking the questions that are going to get them to the point of saying, okay. And he also said being prepared, which is very important. You're going to talk to me about joining a business, and then what if I say I'm ready to sign up, but you don't have the stuff to show me? Like today was a really good example. I met with one of my potential distributors, and her husband wanted to see the compensation plan. Y'all already know I don't have the compensation plan in my brain. It's not there. But I was absolutely prepared to show him how easy it is to get it and how simple it is to read it. And that's just me being prepared. Like, don't put yourself in a position where they can stump you when you get the potential ready to close. And I think that's very important. So the next thing that he's going to mention is questions that lead up to signing up.
As you can imagine, it took me a while to figure all of this out, and that was just half the battle. It's one thing to have the information, and it's another thing to put it into action. I wasn't as talented as the pros, but I could model what they did, so I just started to act like they acted. I acted emotionally detached. I really wasn't at the beginning. I started to act very assumptive that people would join. I really wasn't at the beginning. I started to tell people, and you get me, even though I didn't think that was such a huge benefit at the beginning. I was always prepared. I started to ask lots of questions, focusing more on being interested than interesting.
Just to pause really quick, I didn't mention that, but he said that he told people, at the end of the day, once you decide to join this team or when you join me, you get me. And I know a lot of people said one of the obstacles that they faced was the people that are talking to them are like, well, I can't do what you do. Well, that's okay because you're going to get me and I'm going to help you do what I do. I'm going to show you how easily it is to do it, maybe even in your own way. So it's really important. And that I forgot to mention is um, making yourself a perk. Like, look, I'm about to be one of the top money earners in this company and you're going to get to be on my team, not to be boastful or arrogant, but to be helpful. Like, you're getting a great leader. You're going to be on a great business partner. You know, like, we're going to have a great business partner who's going to be there for you. So that's really important when you're signing up distributors. And the other thing that he said that I forgot to mention was being emotionally detached. Don't get all in your feelings. It's very, very, it makes you vulnerable. Once the person that you're speaking with sees that your guard is down because you're getting emotional or upset or offended, then that's not professional. And I'm not really sure how confident you are in yourself if you get mad that I said this or that. Like, you can't frustrate me when we're talking, because at one point you could when I was just joining, but you can't frustrate me because I'm very confident in what I have. So, and I'm just emotionally detached. I'm a very emotional person, so that was one of the things that I definitely struggled with in the beginning. All right, let's see if he's going to the questions now.
And as time went on, I acted less and less and believed more and more. The same can happen for you. Let's talk about questions. If you were a consultant, your job was to figure out if an opportunity was a good fit for your client, what would you do? You'd ask questions, right? In working to help a prospect make a positive decision about your opportunity, you're going to do the same thing. But instead of asking, what did you think, which leads nowhere, learn to ask questions that lead in a positive direction. Did it make sense to you? What did you like best about what you just saw? Pretty exciting, isn't it? Can you see how this could be an opportunity for you? Of these examples, the one I used most is, what did you like best? The answer to that question is almost always positive, and it gives you clues as to the area in which they're most interested. Then I like to say, let me ask you a question on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 meaning you have 0 interest and 10 being you're ready to get started right now. Where are you? They'll give you a number. And it's usually obvious from their number that they either need more information before they'll make a decision, or they're leaning towards getting started now. If you feel they need more information, just guide them to the next exposure that will help them the most.
Okay, so the 2 questions that he basically said, we talked about this last time too, are what did you like the best about what I just showed you? What was your favorite part? What do you think is going to benefit you the most? And then, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you with this? Now, it's so crazy because either way it goes, they got to give you a number. And we talked about this last training. Whatever the number is, if it's not a 10, how can I get you to 10? But if it's a 9, you're good. I want you. You're ready. But if it's like a 7 or a 6 or maybe 5, what can I do to get you to 10? Or what do you need? What more do you need? Oh, well, I just need to read over the compensation plan. Okay, too easy. I'll give you the compensation plan. What time are you free tomorrow? After you've checked it out, we'll talk over it again. And that's me leading to the next exposure and also giving them the materials that they need.
But if you feel they're ready to get started, then ask a series of 4 questions. This 4-question close has produced strong and consistent results over the course of my career.
Okay, make sure y'all write this down. 4 questions to close. Don't tell me you don't know what to say after I'm telling you here it is. This is so simple.
If you learn it and use it, you'll be amazed at how many people you can help. Question number 1. Based upon what you've just seen, if you were to get started with this company on a part-time basis, approximately how much would you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? Instead of asking this question, most distributors say things like, how'd you like to make $10,000 a month? Don't do that. Instead of prescribing what you think they want, just ask them what it would take to make it worth their time and wait for their answer. Question number 2. Approximately how many hours could you commit each week to develop that kind of income? Now they have to go inside their head and check their mental calendar to see how much time they would invest to get that kind of money. Question number 3. How many months would you work those kind of hours in order to develop that kind of income? This question makes them think about their level of commitment if they want the income from question number 1. Question number 4. If I could show you how to develop an income of, their answer to question number 1, per month, working, their answer to question number 2, hours a week over the course of, their answer to question number 3, months, would you be ready to get started? Most of the time, you'll get a positive answer to this question. And when people say, sure, show me how, you can pull out your compensation plan and sketch out a reasonable game plan to achieve their goals. There are rare occasions when people will give you unrealistic numbers. They might say they want $10,000 a month working 2 hours a week for 1 month. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. If you face that situation, you act as a consultant and say, I'm sorry, but your expectations are way too high. You can get to $10,000 a month, but it'll take more hours and more months than you're willing to commit. If you're willing to change those expectations, we can talk. If you don't get a positive answer to the 4 questions, that's okay. That means the prospect will need to have more exposures before they're ready. Schedule the next one and repeat this process when you're done. This skill will take practice, but it's a skill that will serve you for the rest of your career. If you're tired of having too many people thinking about it and not enough taking action, this will help.
Okay, I love that. Okay, so you guys just come off mute really quick. How many of you guys have had someone say, oh, well, I just need to think about it?
I
need
get that
time to
all
do
the
more.
time.
Me
It's
I
too.
need more
Sierra.
time to research,
Yeah, and
right?
I always ask my favorite question is, okay, so how much time do you need? When would you like for me to follow up with you? You know, that's my
Well,
favorite thing to say so I can add it to my calendar. Or I'll ask a question like, what is it that you're skeptical about? Or, you know, what is it that, is making you hesitate? You know, I
right.
always ask open-ended questions to get specifics on what, what's keeping them from joining.
So what do they say?
I mean, to usually what I've gotten is like the $99, and I try to explain what comes into new business, build a business distributor kit, or they may say, oh, I just don't have enough time, and I'll go back, with them, like I have a full-time job and I'm still able to do it. I have 3 children and I'm still able to do it and look at my success. But I mean, that's
And
usually what I
that
do.
kind of goes back to what we talked about last week when you get those obstacles and they're like, or objections, and they're like, oh, well, I just don't have time. And you're like,
Uh-huh.
remember the find, felt fine.
Mm-hmm.
I totally understand how you feel. I felt the same way when I started, but what I found out was I'm busy as well, and I'm still able to completely do this business. One of the other things that I thought was really, really important are these 4 questions. I remember we started this last year. One of the distributors in Susan's downline, her name is Rebecca Vandenberg. She put together a whole training of this, and we studied it and just really perfected how we pose these questions at the end to close. And I hope you guys wrote it down, and I hope you're going to practice it. How much do you need to earn for you to feel like your time is being, valuable or whatever? What's the income amount you're looking for? Oh, I just need to earn a couple extra hundred, maybe $500 extra a month. Okay, $500 extra a month. How much time do you have right now in your schedule to put towards the $500 a month? What you will find out is people think we work this business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's what they think. So they say a number that they feel like is very low, but when we hear it, we're like, what? 17 hours? Okay, I can get you way further than $500 a month with 17 hours. So what you do is you ask them, how much time do you have in your schedule right now to put towards this $500 a month? And they say, oh, well, about, an hour a day. That's 7 hours a week. Honestly, you can work this business an hour a day and still balance it and make that $500 a month. You really can. Then you say, oh, okay, well, how many months are you willing to work to get there? Because you'll get some people that'll say, well, I want to make enough to quit my job. Okay, I get it. You want to quit your job, but we're going to have to do this part-time. Now, how many months are you willing to work at this, 1 hour a day to get to your job, to get to quit your job? And they'll say, oh, maybe about 6 months. All right, in 6 months, if I can show you in 6 months how to work this business 1 hour a day and earn extra $500, would you be willing, or would you be ready to start right now? Now, I just told you I answered, you know what I mean? Like, you gave me the playing field. I told you I could show you how to do it. And that's how confident you have to be with what they give you. And he did say, okay, well, sometimes you'll get a ridiculous answer. I haven't had one yet, but sometimes somebody might say, I need 10,000, but I want to get that in 2 months. And I'm only trying to work 1 hour a week. Well, you're a little bit unrealistic about your expectation. I can completely relate to wanting to get 10,000 a month because that's currently my goal. This next promotion is 10,000 a month. But I can tell you right now, you're going to have to put in more work for that. If you're willing to change the dynamics of how many hours you're working and how much time you have until we get to the 10,000 a month, I can show you how to get there. And then you just alleviate that. So those are the 4 questions. And just to recap, I don't know if Nikita was able to post it or not. If she didn't, I can post it, but hopefully she did. The questions, the review of chapter 8, it's your job to guide them to a decision. Not being emotionally attached is very important. And the keys steps to this are confidence and posture. And then the 5 things that will give you confidence and posture are not being emotionally attached, being able to say, you get me. That'll build your confidence because you're putting yourself out there as a valuable thing. Like, you get me. That will boost your confidence. Being prepared. Being prepared is going to boost your confidence because they're going to say, well, how much money or what's the percent? And then you're like, oh, I can show you exactly right here in the compensation plan. If you're prepared, you'll be confident to answer those tough questions that they ask you. And then being able to ask the right questions. So that's the thing that, is going to boost your confidence. Now, the 2 dynamite questions, which is what he said, is leads in a positive direction. So all your questions need to go to positivity. Don't say, what do you think, and just think, oh, well, I just need them to be talking to me. Like, an open-ended question isn't always positive. What you want is a positive open-ended question. So their answer has to be positive. So you add positivity to your question. What did you like best? What was your favorite thing? What sounded good to you? Stuff like that. Those are the positive questions that you're going to ask. And then, what was the last one? I forgot to write it too. I forgot. Anyways, I'll figure it out in a minute. Did anybody have anything to say, input, ask, request, mention? Any objections that you've come across in the past week or so? I know we ended the month last month pushing hard for volume. Did you guys have anything that was hanging that you felt like, oh, if I would have just known what to say, I would have been able to get such and such? Or if you find yourself talking to people and then you're consistently getting the, I'll get back to you, I'll get back to you, I'll get back to you, you have to reevaluate the way that you're talking to these people. Like, your conversation has to lead. It's more of a, I don't want to call it a manipulation, but it's a guiding. You have to guide it yourself. Come off mute. Who else is in there? Nicole, LaQuanda, Julie. Julie, did you have anything?
No, not really. This helped me a lot, though.
Yeah, because it's like you don't think about it. It's so simple, but you don't think about, what you should, the way that he's presenting it. You don't think of it, and then when he presents it and you get it, you're like, oh, dang, that's all I had to do.
Yeah, it comes naturally. It really does. I mean, you're talking to people, and you just meet them, and they're like, "Oh, well, what do you do?" It's like, "Oh, well, I work at home." Like, "Well, what do you do?" Like, "I do it works." What's that? And it just kind of naturally flows.
Right. Sierra, did you have any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, objections?
I mean, I don't have any objections or anything. I mean, because in my personal, I will give my insight on, those 4 questions or things you need to ask, when signing someone. I mean, I just feel like, a person's going to come around when they're ready.
Right.
Whether you give them this, yeah.
The ones that take the longest, honestly, are the greens. And I think
Mhm.
maybe we should do that too, is to go over personalities. The greens usually take a little bit longer because they need more security and the documents and the paperwork and the word. Like they need way more. So
Mhm.
if you can tell the difference between a person that's a green and a person that's just trying to talk intelligently to try to stray you away from, they don't want to feel like you're trying to get them, because people
Mhm.
have their guard up when you're talking about network marketing. Um, Laquanda, did you have anything you wanted to ask or add, or any issues that you're coming, anything that's coming across your business that you're like, can you just tell me what to say in this situation? You're on mute. You gotta unmute yourself. No? What about you, Nikita? While Laquanda's trying to figure out how to unmute herself. Nikita, did you have anything? Where did she go? I know that I'm not tripping. I see her. Do y'all see her on there too?
I do think that confidence and being yourself is very important when you're talking to people because that's what they pick up on. I think it was mentioned a few chapters back that, people are buying the person, not the product. So if you're just being personable and sincere and, like a lot of the confidence comes from being yourself, I think, that is what brings people on board.
Right. So what do
Yeah, I
you think?
agree with you, Julie. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know if everyone on the call knows me. I mean, I'm pretty down to earth, but I do have a strong personality, and it's kind of hard for me to. I don't know. I'm not a one track minded person, but I mean, it's kind of hard for me to, I guess, speak on everyone's level as far as personality goes. I'm very direct, but I have a sense of humor. I try to make everything fun. But I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know.
So where do you think being direct is a downside?
I don't know. Maybe, I mean, maybe I'm too honest. I mean, I don't, come across as, I never come off as uncomfortable or just outspoken. When I say direct, it's just putting it all out there on the table about what's expected of you. To build your business, you have to work your business. Like you said, you can't work 1 hour a week and expect to go diamond in 30 days or even
Right.
ruby. You've got to put in work. And I try to stress that, I'm not going to give you, all flutes and horns. I'm going to give it to you straightforward because I don't want you
Right.
to come back to me in 30 days and say, hey, Sierra, you lied. This is what you told me. You said I'd
Right.
get the ruby bonus by just doing this and that. It did not happen.
Right.
I just put it out there.
I think that's a really good thing too, because what'll happen is you'll get quality people. It might take longer though. That's the thing. It's going to take longer, and it's really a numbers game with network marketing. You have to talk to 100 people to get 70 to listen to you, to get 30 to consider, to get 15 to say yes, to get 7 that actually work. And that's really the odds. That's really how it goes. And then out of the 7, you get 1 that works harder than you. So ideally, I need to be talking to 700 people every day. You know what I mean? So I can keep getting that one, that one, that one, that one. What I found though, too, is a lot of the times I might meet somebody that might not be as strong or able to handle the straightforwardness, like what you're saying. Like I'm telling them, hey, it's gonna be amazing, it's gonna be awesome, and they mean well, they join the business, it's awesome, but they put in somebody, or they know their cousin or their sister or whoever, their friend joins with them, and that person is a rock star. So sometimes some people that come across our business are not necessarily meant for this business. They're just meant to bring us those types of people. The ones that are, they might be the link to the rock star. And you have to remember that too when you meet people. A lot of times I'll say, well, do you know anybody else that you think would be good at this? And then they start thinking of people. And then they start giving you names. And right then, I reassure them confidently, oh my God, you already have a team. Because ideally, you know these people, these are your close friends, cousins, family, whatever, work coworkers. If you know these people, more than likely one or two of them will join you. That's a team. Wow, that's a promotion executive. Just like that. And that brings more confidence to them. So I think that's really important. I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast because we do have the, I don't know if it started already or not, the corporate call. Did it start already?